from the American again. So you just can't believe that the person that shows you that I was in love with. So that person there's one more chicken reason. But what kept me in the down when I was going to call it, I was from home. I was from home. So I went home to the said to my brother, come to touch this. Every time he gets it like that. One time in Manchester, I didn't drink. Then the problem I didn't get third time. So I was so fine somewhere to you down. I said to my brother, let me go. Stuff up. While you're at the telephone, gentleman is just starting. And he was there and we talked and we didn't, my brother, we never used to see it, so when he took us and we were going to buy something, and he was there crying. So when we finished, I said, my brother, we're not leaving him on the road. So come on with us. So he came on with us and I gave him the sofa to sleep on him. This morning, he was the body. And he was with us for the weekend. And he was adamant that he was going to Kingston before he died to kill the girl. And it's a realization, so I'm just a dissect and show you what sometimes happens to people and people when they know and they don't help for one another. And at times it is good in the workplace. And I can recall each time I've been up on a call. Kale called to Peter and got short. Every time they say, Peter, anywhere, I short. And there was a gentleman named Mr. Easton. I don't know how much I remember, but he was one of the best people there. So in a short one of them, man, I was so sad. I went to this one and I went to the I remember every time I passed the place, I remember. And he slowed down and said, he's right. So he stopped. I started driving. He said, tell me what happened to you. And he said, when you go listen. And you know, most of us, we know this time is something in ourselves. I don't believe your man. I don't believe you. He said, yes. He said, bring him back to Ghana. Then he said, bring him back to his family. And he stopped him and he started asking him. He said, listen. And he said, let God push him and he put him back. And he started that he was the best and ever felt from that he was happy. And for the first day, I was eating on New Year's. For 6 months, I only drink milk all this time. I only milk camphor. It's like a stone on here. And if you call me while I'm eating, I don't smoke. it was, I say all of this to say that a lot of times we are at work and we are going through some severe times and nobody is here to listen, nobody is here to give a word of encouragement. Nobody is here where you can have some confidence to share your pain with, because if you share it with them by an hour after, everybody gonna know about it. And it is sad, but I'm praying that this format will let the powers that understand that employees are a part of each and every one, and we need to treat everyone as brothers and sisters and as co-workers and look out for each other. We don't have it here. I don't want to say no more because I don't want to say that. Thanks for listening and I hope I didn't worship.
Thank you so much. So we've heard it from, I won't say the rest, but I said the people's mouth. And experience does teach wisdom. I mean, we're clearing that, but more and more we learn that is a reality. And we heard from him the importance of that family, that network in the space where we spend most of the hours of our day. And indeed, last week Thursday, we were encouraged to take 40 seconds to take action against to put forward the preservation of mental health. And today we are paused for 120 minutes to actually prevent persons moving out of the state of the mental health, for want of a better term. And so we really thank people for sharing this personal story, because it reminds us that we are human beings, and talking about this is actually helping that whole healing process. We have always been sharing with us, and so we were challenged to bring in this space. Now we welcome Dr. Kenneth Goldberg from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. We welcome your chair earlier. It's in the chair now. So he's the acting director of mental health and substance abuse services in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and we're going to invite him now to share with us some of the new developments in the Ministry of Health and Wellness regarding mental health and how as an organization we can support the need to have staff to put the criteria of the mental health.
So thank you very much. I see you have time. We come to the meeting, so thank you very much for having me here and for providing support, because you can cell phone like this, it's the message of hope. Because all I'm telling you, policies and programs with the Ministry of Health, if you don't have the necessary support, you can buy from organizations and from other institutions, then it can make my work hard. And even earlier, remember from September, the theme for September, which is World Suicide Prevention Day, but no theme for it, what is the theme? No, World Suicide Prevention Day, September 10th. Can you hear about it? No? Yeah? Okay, working together prevents suicide. And if you underscore the fact that we will feel harmed alone. When we go to individuals, communities, organizations, we work together to prevent suicide. And we work together to prevent suicide carry individual. Because if you don't live a healthy lifestyle, it's involved. Eating a balanced diet, regular exercise, adequate sleep at night, and maintaining healthy relationships. So by doing that, not only improve your physical well-being, but also your mental and emotional well-being. So when you face challenges, then you go do something trying to be better. And social support, as I heard you mention a while ago, very crucial. About 2 years ago, and in your assessment, I will ask, who do you need? Who do you support? Because I'm making a difference between a person getting better and not getting better. If it's not done very years, I think we have a good family support who are there for them in good times and in bad times, and then to weather the storm. So your headline says very important. First, starting point is promote mental wellness. And you know about the most program in the Ministry of Health. We started some time ago, and now we have also included mental health in. Realizing that There's no good health without good mental health, right? So very important. And also, it is recognized that non-communicable diseases, things like diabetes, hypertension, and so on, that mental illness is also part of non-communicable diseases. And there's a close intertwine between mental illness and non-communicable diseases, where non-communicable diseases like diabetes can lead to depression, for example. A person becomes depressed and adequately treated may actually become diabetic because probably they don't eat right, they don't exercise right, for diabetes, become obese and become diabetic. So there are close intertwined between both of them. But one biggest thing we have in terms of mental illness and person getting adequate treatment, apart from availability of the services, is also access of services. And you may or may not know that most of the cases of suicide occur among what sex, what gender, males. Whereas more attempts may be done by female, but most men end up completed suicide. And in part of that problem is due to or stigma attached to mental illness. Many people say, but it's not really a related issue. And that's about a common thing that occurs among persons. It's about men, and when that happens, it's very difficult to manage because it's a big man don't cry. And among men folk, I mean, they talk and so not issue a relationship. They sometimes brush down and say, "You're a big man, what's the next girl?" and so on, and make light on the whole issue. A relationship is a very, very important part of our existence. I like to compare it with a loaf of bread. You have a loaf of bread and you're on it for too long and becomes stale, what do you do? And then you loaf of bread. Then might have a relationship you invest in for 6 years, all of a sudden, I've seen that happen with men, they just say, no more relationship. And he's gone. No reason at all. And I've seen this gentleman, in fact, years afterwards, still wondering, what happened? Why did she lose? And just grappling with anxiety and depression about the whole situation.
Dr.
You are,
yes,
go ahead.
There are times before you feel it away.
I get my breakfast now, so I realize that. But what you don't get, all allergies are perfect. Yes. But what can see there's nothing to pay for.
That's a leadership.
And stigma comes in different ways, and stigma not only in the workplace, it occurs from right in the home. That's why we have a problem sometimes people going home from Belgium or any institution for that matter. Because my person, they come into the umbrella at home and from curses and the bad and from this person property in the home and to the hospital and you have to come back home, then they don't want to have them back home at all. And they go out to sabotage them to insulate them and come up and mean so they can readmit them out of the space. At home, they're big stigma. So we're going to start speaking to them so the family members are very knowledgeable and aware of what to expect and how to manage this person and community of what to say and what to say. So in the home, in the community, there's a big stigma as well. So for example, if we put certain facilities, I remember going to Usher Spring, myself and then director of mental health. We tried to put up there at an half-year house for mental ill persons. I went to the community to tell them about it. The community parents were talking about what cancer. You know what I got here? Well, one time I 21. Because when they get pregnant and go to the family hospital, they have no way to get the ambulance and so on. And this relationship was up. I mean, I told you this morning, we are finding these storms. The community members even have that stigma as what mental ill persons are like, and then really accommodating the boy. Let's have this kind of venture for us, for our relatives, family, and so on. Some communities now and enjoys the next era of the job. The stigma is within the school system and within the workplace. So in the school system you have, of course, a child not living well, child not good learning, different other students always talking and so on. He's labeled as a rude child, bad child. You get suspended, you get expelled, and of course, it goes down because more education, nobody wants to be in the school system, works for him. In the workplace, similarly, because he engaged differently, he's taken unkind by migrant, somebody interviewing and asks what's happening and so on, and the person is actually doing their job. So actually, in the middle of the election, so we can work in the school system, where that's one area we need to have both teachers and students sensitized to what it is, their issues, how to pick up early signs, how to see to make initial intervention, and how to get, where preference to. And in the workplace, we have to work with the Chamber of Commerce, human resources manager from Jamaica, Dr. Organization Dam Site, and also with economic services in trying to promote wellness in the workplace. When I said wellness in the workplace, because we want to try to be well within the workplace. But we do know that we have that in place, some person might get it. So there are other factors which may be inside in the workplace, maybe a person is doing someone that managing well, then they may need intervention. And we want to have in that organization what we call employee assistance program, where persons can figure on their own position, go and get help without even tell their bosses. And then they go to such facilities, they're going to help in a confidential manner, where they don't hear and dabble between the counselor and the management from where they're coming from. And I also want to make sure that intervention so where persons who need treatment can be treated and can be reintegrated back into the workplace. I think that's a big issue. And I've heard of people who was sent from the industry and he got treatment and he went back to work. When the morning got called, "Dr. Goodman, I just sent John drove back to work. You see not well." Not true, he was still and so on, but because he not going to go 10 floor at Congress Hospital, the psychiatric ward, then he should come back to work. And then they come to serve those other patients who have got a chance to go back to work, for them done well subsequently. But mental illness is not a death curse, or another curse that you will not survive in life. About patients who have survived so well that they have only get better, or treatment, but they even get married, and they even go to higher education, which shows that they are returning to normal function. So, there's one last point to mention before I wrap up, so Dr. mentioned, is that we also have a workplace policy, which is there to really provide all workplaces with a policy that we have in place, promote wellness, promote intervention for persons who are not well mentally, and to ensure that they not only get better, but that they can be integrated back to their workplace and in society. Because believe it or not, your work is very important for your existence, and your work adds quality to your life and make you less burden on your society. So with that, I will close and I will present it.
Thank you much, Doc. Right, so as we listen, a couple of things jump out at me. The first one is really the last thing that was said, which is instructive that whilst there are many things that are not going right at the Native Customs Agency, there are many things that are going right. Because Dr. Gover spoke about workplace policy. We saw that last year when we launched our health and well-being policy, and have subsequently been activating our employee assistance program. We've been doing some revamping, and that is moving full speed ahead, I'd say. So we are making strides. We are facilitating persons via this forum, and we'll be creating other spaces where persons can share in conversation regarding it. But I know that as we listen to these things and know that these things exist, we still have our own personal affairs to treat with. And so I'll just throw this question at Doc. So just if you could give us an idea, perhaps for those of us here who are not supervisors, managers, directors, how do, because in your comments earlier you spoke about your boxing system, and I wonder how do we help employees to help those who supervise them to access or take care of their mental health, given that that is a ticklish relationalist. Okay. Alright, so I just want to state up front that mental illness is no respecter of persons. We must know that. Okay? And it is incumbent on each one of us to protect our mental space. There are some triggers, and the workplace is a social environment. And when Peter spoke, and Peter, I was just so warmed by what you said, and just how you spoke, and it's not many men that share that way, and you must be celebrated, okay? And yes, he said a couple of stuff, and I just wanted to talk about that. The part about, and you spoke about policies. You can have as many policies as you want, but it's the people. So it is not really the policies only. The policies are good, but it's the people. It is we who care. It is we who love. And yes, we're supposed to love in the workplace. I know when you come here, you're only about the numbers and meeting the targets and all of those sort of things. But those are good in themselves, okay? But it is the people, it is the care that we show. And workplace now is a lot more about the people factor, the caring, the mentoring, the coaching, and how as supervisor you create a safe psychological space for persons to come. And guess what? We have to take care of ourselves first. Sick people can't take care of anybody. So you have to take care of yourself first. And so if you realize that you need help, seek help. And I can only talk about emotional intelligence. It seems to be a buzzword, but it is more than a buzzword. It is understanding yourself. Understand what triggers you. Understand what upsets you. Sometimes you're in this room and somebody walking and you just see somebody's body language just change. And then you here trying to think to listen, I don't want anybody over there saying amen. But the truth is, you have to understand. And we have to learn to communicate. We have to learn to communicate. We have to learn that those of you here who are supervisors, I remember when I used to work, the supervisor used to say, I'm going to leave it, anything will happen, I'm going to leave it out to the door and come in here. You see, 4:30, you can pick it up back. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Because it is all of us that come into the organization. We come in here with all our passion, all our self, everything that is happening to us. And some of us are victims of domestic abuse. Some of us are victims of failed relationships. Some of us are victims of having teenage children who are wayward. And we have to deal with that. Some of us are in crime-ridden communities and may have stayed up the whole night trying to watch. And you have to come to work at 8:30. And when you come, you have to give up your best. And those of you who are sitting here, for Christ's sake, when things are shared with you in confidence, look at the person and say, Peter, I think I need to talk to Mrs. Carter. Do you mind? And if you say, no, not yet, respect it. Respect it. Those of you in here who are supervisors and managers, create a place that your person feels safe, that they can come. Uh-huh. I have a little caveat, eh? I tell persons, be careful of how much you disclose. Be careful of how vulnerable you put yourself out there, because sometimes it comes back to harm you. I've already celebrated HR here, and I don't know a lot about what happens here, okay? But I know that you're on a good path. And another thing is that we don't trust each other. We have to learn to trust each other. And trust comes from a position of open and honest communication. And some of you who are managers, do not give your people basket to carry water, because that can create psychologically unsafe place. When people feel that they are not good enough, it triggers something in them. I think some persons are looking like they want to ask some questions. I'm going to stop.
Yes, anyone has a question?
Yes, I listen, and I do appreciate the fact that when information is given to you, it must be confidential. What happened in the situation where the person is telling everyone around the table the same thing that they told you, but it's now a situation where someone else heard it, so the person now come and said, I told you, and I'm hearing it back. When in fact you know that the person actually tell everyone that is around the team. What do you do in that situation? Because now you're caught in a space as if the information was shared with you in confidence and you're the person who spilled it. How do you deal with that situation?
I believe that that is something that all of us get caught up in, eh? And you, right? And it doesn't matter how much you say, I didn't do it. If the person wants to believe that you did it, they're going to believe that you did it. So it is just about me. Remember now, it is not about anybody else, it's about me. And sometimes when I see those things happening, what I can do is that I will call Pauline. I hope no Pauline is in here. And I will say, listen, are you sure you want to be talking like that? That sort of thing. So Pauline is aware that you know that Pauline is also talking. Are you with me? So only you can protect yourself, eh? And sometimes, let me tell you something. All of what is happening in terms of workplace relationships goes all the way back to slavery, with the house slaves and the yarn slaves. You understand? And this trust thing has to come from a position of open and honest communication. It's not going to come overnight. And no matter how you put your soul out there and give to the workers, if they don't want to trust you, they're not going to trust you. But you have to continue to do good.
Montego Bay, any questions? Talk to us.
I guess while they're thinking about, that's me. Let them speak. Simone, go ahead, Simone.
Yes. It's correct. That part is very important because it is a very important point to mention because some of our resistance towards stress come from within you. So your personality, your past experience, or you got this experience before, and you trust in God. You trust in God can help you to put things into perspective in a way that you don't see things at all lost. You see, instead of seeing something that pitfall, you see that a challenge for a greater good. So it really puts into perspective, and then God is in charge, it's nothing to do now, nothing to work out somehow. So it may be different as to how you weather difficult situations. So that's a very important point you do make, that your spiritual wellness also helps you to weather storms better than if you have no hope in a superior being. If all your hope is within yourself, and you are falling apart, then you definitely fall apart.
I kind of want to think that I'm happy that there is a counselor. I wish there was more than one, like a psychologist here at Customs, because sometimes when people approach you with issues, I like to refer them to the professional, because yes, I can try to counsel, but I believe that where confidentiality comes in all that detail, I would want to refer persons to the professional. I mean, get out of the amateur space then. Because I consider myself an amateur, but I like to think that there is somewhere, someone I could refer to make it professional, to make it confidential, and kind of mitigate some of the issues that might arise.
All right, thanks for that, Bridget. All right, so we mentioned earlier the employee assistance program. Now that has kind of been in place for some time, and what we've done is we're seeking to revamp it, and so we now have a relationship with a group of psychologists who we refer persons to. So we encourage persons who are so minded to touch base with the employee relations unit in HR, and we will put you on to one of our professionals. We've actually had persons, I'd say, from both Kingston and Montego Bay accessing the service. As soon as we have finalized all the arrangements, then we will do more marketing of the initiative or the program. But that space exists presently, and so we encourage persons to just make contact, and we will put you on to the relevant persons externally, so that you can be supported in whatever way you so desire. So that space does exist.
And just to add, Sean, that this service is provided free of cost, and you get up to 4 sessions, and we're extending it to your family members as well.
Right.
Because of the issues that you face are not just in a silo. Mm-hmm. It is reaching to members of your family. We need to get all parties involved so that the matter can be truly resolved. So we pay for 4 sessions for you. How many? I don't remember what the policy says about. Same 4 for the family member. Anything outside of that now becomes your own expense. So we are helping you along the journey. Please let the staff members know, even though the thing is not concrete and formalized, we have been using it and people have been accessing it. So it is a space that exists that we are currently working in.
Thank you, Tamara.
May I respond to
Simone, yes.
May I respond to Simone's comments about referral to a specialist?
Oh, that's Bridget.
Oh, Bridget. All of us sitting here are psychologists, eh? All of us sitting here. And so organizations have the opportunity to train persons. We call them mental health first aiders, eh? And you teach persons how to refer. So I may get something that I can't deal with because I don't deal with substance abuse. But Dr. Goldberg deals with substance abuse and does it better than I do. And we have to know when to refer persons. Are you with me? But as a person sitting here, we should be able to listen. That's all you know. Just listen with care. In a confidential, people have to feel that they're coming in a safe space. And that's all that the employees are asking for. Just a safe space to talk. Sometimes some of them, all they know is you. And so you have to give them that opportunity to speak. And having heard, you would say, well, I think you need to see so and so, or you may need to see somebody else. And don't tell them about the psychologist and thing and that sort of thing. Because that alone I will tell them. I will tell them saying, I may call it the word. I just want to make a difference. Just to call a word is going to set them off and they're going to come back in themselves and you can't get them out of it. You understand? Just think about it and just put yourself, just be empathetic. Alright?
I just wanted to add something as well. Dr. Barnett mentioned the mental health crusaders. We have started groundwork here, but we are calling it peer support network. That's what we are calling it. Because we know, even though we're not using the word, once we say mental health, people still have a connotation towards it. So we're calling it peer support network. There was another point I wanted to raise initially. After Peter spoke, he said that he would have gone with his brother to the Cook Street and they would have done some alcohol or something to kind of mitigate against how he was feeling. And I find that culturally, men don't talk. It's present in the organization, so they may be going through things that they would not share. Women will call and say, they have now gotten the cook something, so that they would call and say, oh, I'm having a relationship problem. Can I speak to the doctor? They just call and say, I'd like to speak to the doctor and we refer them. But how do we get the men in the organization to a space? I don't know who's going to answer me, where they will feel it is okay to say I'm having an issue and I need the help of the organization or whomever it is to assist them. I hear the stats you gave about more men giving into suicide, and I'm wondering how can we help them, even from an HR perspective, to get to the place where they will relate more and become more open so that they can be helped.
I will go back a step further too, because I'm sure many of you here are raising children, the boys. So I think that's really the socialization as to how boys are raised different from girls. So in that space where boys can come and say what's hurting and so on, that's where should be there in the home setting as well. And from that situation there, that they learn about how to behave and go out. So in the home environment is an important part to start, both from the father showing that he can hurt and so on, and then let the boy grow up and that he can hurt. But that is for your home situation. But for now where you are now, yes, it's been an issue where men may not want to share. So the labeling, of course, making labeling and judgment, try to call about what's happening to them, as you mentioned, try to avoid that by saying things that, I think you're losing that and so on. But what could usually work is by using some of the things that are happening. So for example, if a person not performing well at work, like they're coming late, or they're not productive that what they used to be, or they're complaining that they're not doing well, then you use those signs to say to them that because if you're not going to use it, and by doing that today, you can get something as what may be causing the issue, okay, indirect way, and then one can do what I mentioned before. You also were saying earlier that they want professional to help. As Dr. Barney said, you're all at the initial contact. You're all by listening to somebody. I'm not for it once one of my colleagues came to my room and was discussing about the life story. Never asked me a question. I made no comment on the way to be better. So the by listening made a great difference. So the first thing, I know our campaign is Speak Up, Speak Now, that our mental campaign to decrease stigma. But I would like to add to listen and show that you are non-judgmental, that you can appreciate what is hurt now, what is feeling. And then by doing that, one can also segue into saying that, boy, I think you could benefit from someone who was a bit more expert in dealing with this area.
Let's put it go. Mr. Carter,
I was indicating country. Well, since being in customs, I've had 5 or 6 cases, persons having breakdown. For me personally, it took me a while to realize they're having a mental breakdown. And one question I want to ask is, what are the signs you need to look for, especially as leaders, when there's a breakdown in mental health? So we're dealing with mental health, which can also include mental illness, right? Because, and I would like to know, what are some of the signs of poor mental health? Seeing that it's no respect of person, and I don't want to be charged $10,000. I realize that you don't have to be
Making a difference
to be considered to have to be mentally ill, but it could find itself into different categories, right? So I want to know, what are the signs you look for as a manager when there's a breakdown in mental health, and really, what is mental health? In the negative components, what are those things that we look for?
So, things you look for is the person. So we have this word for some time, they know a person's work attitude and so on. There's a change in that where a person is no longer engaging, a person is no longer like distancing himself from work. That person sometimes is out of absent-mindedness at work. And so they see that there's some level of decrease in functionality. So the person is dressed sometimes. You know, a person got well put together, and somehow it's not well put together, and it's just not leading to smell a bit greenish. So you understand that there's a change in his self-hygiene and so on.
Yeah.
In addition, some persons overeat and some persons undereat. Some persons overdose on alcohol, ganja smoking, cigarette smoking. Some people overdose on sex, and it's just and some persons just absent from work and they do it in a nice way. Huh?
I want to add that some persons stay here longer than they should.
Absolutely.
And it's not that they're working overtime, but we say, are you working this evening? No. Why are you still here? And for days it continues.
Yes.
So all those changes of behavior pattern are early signs, and really and truly, actually, I like it because that's what you want to really pick up. You want to wait the person, if somebody starts sliding down, you don't wait the person in the bottom before you do it about that. So it's hard at that time. And the person probably will be unwilling to accept that something really wrong. But when it comes up earlier, the person is not so emotionally disturbed so much, you may be much more receptive to say, boy, and take on himself. But you wait too late. A lot of people before, they are what you call frantic psychotic. Very suspicious, can't trust anybody and so on at that time. Can't convince them that something's wrong with them. At that time, the mind is so fixed in what they believe. It is not true that it's hard to come to them otherwise. If you say something to them, you are against them. You fight against them. If you get the signs earlier, then as a nip it in the bud, and there's a chance of recovery.
This is the follow-up on what I challenge I had, especially for the first two cases that in which I felt helpless. I didn't know what was the next move. You just don't know what to do. So I don't know if at that stage, I guess we didn't have like the employee program that we have, but what really should we do? What should be this basic step? Because we are all psychologists, but there's just some stuff that we can't handle. You start to mention the big words to them, and might just try their shell and pull away. But really, what should we do?
The best thing you could do is just expressing your observation. That I know you're hard working, you don't come to work early, and you're producing X amount of productivity, but was it falling off? What's happening? Sometimes things like that happen to them that they're fully aware of, and the guy who actually ask them. And by asking them, they say, oh, boy, this manager is very observant, he's very caring, and they will actually open to you at that time.
Yes. So that question was asked prior to earlier, which was saying how do you get, I'm not an expert in this thing, I was saying the thought was came to my mind, how do you get men to speak? And when I listened to Peter, this actually thought came to my mind, is that men likes a squad effect.
Yes.
They like loyalty, or even people in general, they like a sense of loyalty. And it was easy for him to go and speak with his brother and let's go and drink, because over the years they have grown and learned to respect each other's space and understand each other and know that you've got my back. So and many times females tend to speak a lot. And men, just in general, and even if so you do, and many times leaders are females in the room.
In the homes.
And in the homes. So it's like he is just really fostering that I am looking out for you mentality. It does not happen overnight. It takes time. So even like in choosing the mentors for the program that is going on, this is not the choice. Choosing the person to represent that role is also key to get maximum effect. Not because I go to church every Sunday, it doesn't mean I'm the best person. Sometimes I'm not the best person. It's just that thing that some person are just born with. That's just their gift and their talent, where if someone just wants to come and speak with you, you have that openness and that confidentiality, and you're consistent with it. It doesn't mean that when I want to speak, not because you're my superior, I want to come and speak with you, I'm going to come and speak with you because what you have not shown your loyalty and your confidentiality in other aspects of your department. And for people to approach you, they have to have a comprehensive perspective that, guess what, this person has my back. And you're genuine about it, and you're not one who will sway by whoever you're going to approach. Because some of us, we tend to want to, because I'm speaking with Tamara, I pinch your ankle or something, you're supposed to be able to hold your own and say that, guess what, I don't, if this costs me, because you see, when we get to a stage now where I am starting to put my interest over your interest, which is, there's no real comparison, but sometimes I just want to bring a news to get the ears of somebody. You just want a, in a sense, a vulnerable spot to penetrate somebody. You know what we do? We use, I know you don't like me. So I say, all right, I can penetrate her by being something sweet to her ears. So it's like that sense of loyalty and that camaraderie. We can't expect it from everybody, and that is why there's a mark on the individual who is ordained to do those to encompass those portfolio. But you should be able to hold your own. And if we should have a disagreement, I should not be feeling nervous that you're going to, I'm going to be exposed. So it's kind of like, so it's really a culture thing, right? Which does not take overnight, which does not come overnight. Because even if, the other thing is also the procedure, even the same policies, they can be our biggest enemies. In the sense that, all right, I'm going to come to HR and say, I need to speak with Dr. Bang. I have to go through protocol. Look here, say so you're the lowest rank in this thing. I have to tell your supervisor, tell them, and guess what? At some point, no, what I mean by that, this person has to be out for X time. Just an example. You understand? So if we can find more diplomatic ways in facilitating and discreet ways, because what will happen now, guess what? Even if I don't know, curiosity kicks in. Once you're a human being, it's going to kick in and say, what is going on? And you know what? We want to find out what is going on. We're going to find reasons, because people sometimes ask us and say, oh, is that why they're behaving like that? So it's a whole, the psychology of it is just people being responsible, and that having that, I love to use it, a very common word, a squaddy mentality, where I can say, guess what? This person will have my back irrespective of.
That's the point that actually a study was done where a psychologist can intervene at the organization so can improve the productivity and the harmony and so on. There are several strategies. There is the work. And so that form of work is really helping them be able to talk reason about each other. And he said, you need to pass the 3-prong test before you say anything about someone else. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? And if it doesn't pass that test, then you can really say it. And after I know someone who said, you could dabble something to the person, for instance, say to the person, are you willing to say what you say to me before the person you're talking about? So what he is saying that actually that's in the big one, because a hard work harder in a toxic environment. And that's why he said you should probably should from the departments, no backbiting around here. Because that alone make a great difference in an organization. You know, persons are not talking about each other. Because you do that, you know, as you say, you get brownie points, you get promotion. You walk another person's back to get where you're going, and then that person gets downtrodden.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay, this is just a follow-up to what Mr. Carter said just now. I just want to know, you see, what if your mental illness is being caused from your supervisor, your manager? How do you deal with it? Because every day you have to come to work, you have to face this individual, and you might say it to HR, and HR is not seeing that there's a problem. So how do you deal with a situation? How does HR come in and deal with a situation where your supervisor, you're having a problem with the supervisor, and the supervisor is the cause of your mental illness? I just want to know how to answer that question.
I think the responsibility, the challenge with workplace is that the persons don't they're in a better place than us, because a lot of us are walking around and more mentally ill than the persons who are down at them, but we don't know it, and that is where our problem rests. HR, and these are young people, they have an awesome responsibility, and you have to support them. Okay? Sometimes I say to them, I hope they are taking care of their own mental wellness. Okay? The workplace is a social environment, and we interact every day with each other, and with the policies that we have in place. So if HR hears that a department that Margaret operates or manages, you're getting about 6 or so complaints, or persons are falling ill, quote unquote, in that department, then HR ought to be shining a light and looking and doing some analysis, And you can't just get up and say, it's Margaret causing it. You have to do the analysis, you have to do the groundwork. You understand? And we have to have empirical data. I love to call it that. It's not word of mouth, because people will talk in canteen, but when it comes to sit down, they're not going to talk. We have to have performance management. You call it PMAS. You have to have the management, the performance management. I'm not talking appraisal now, because appraisal is at a period of time. The management is a continuous conversation. And HR has to be true to itself. So if Margaret is giving some quote unquote problem, because people love to say Margaret is the problem, and if you keep hearing that, you need to come and have an honest conversation with Margaret. And we must be able, managing and leading. Managing is maintaining the status quo. Leading is matching up the status quo. And I know that when you're in this particular environment, there are so many hurdles that you have to get over before you can do anything. But then we have to find a way. We have to find a way. You have to build relationship first, Mr. Carter. We don't try to build a relationship when the crisis is coming up. You'd have to have built the relationship long ago so that people feel safe. And so you can call me and say, Margaret, something going on, You weren't here on Thursday, and you came Friday about 10. And Monday you come back at about 1 o'clock.
and I see a pattern. And she may look at you, Margaret may look at you and look way and looking past you. But Margaret know that she can trust you. So she said a little thing. And then you would have built a relationship that Margaret feels comfortable. I think in organization, this thing about supervisors and managers forming a relationship with just a small nucleus of persons. Jesus had that too, Jesus had his disciples that were close to him and the others. But we have to manage that. You understand? Persons must feel safe to come to you and to say to you, Mr. Carter, I'm having an issue at home, and feel that Mr. Carter not going to call somebody and say, say them about her stuff. No, that's not it. No, she must feel safe. Are you with me? And when we start loving, Peter, we must give Peter some more time to talk. And Peter spoke about Mr. Carter, yes, and Miss Graham. And we must hear what is it that Peter could come and sit in a forum like this and say he lift his hat to them, because we must know what they're doing. So we can emulate it too. We don't all have the answers, Trust me, even the psychologists don't have the answers. You understand? But I believe that together, when we start loving each other, and I mean love really love, I mean the romantic love, that happens too in organization, and that mash up organization. You understand what I'm telling you? When somebody come and tell me, say, I mean this and thing, and every time we walk in, him say, walk again, because I love how your legs look. And then by the time somebody come in, him say, stop. So you not see my leg again. Him start feature somebody else. You understand what I'm saying? That mash up people in organizations too. Are you with me? And so we have to create a place. I don't think you understand what I'm saying, It passed policy. It is about us now and how we care about each other. It's not everything. And men get harassed too in an organization too, Men get harassed too. So I'm not only talking about this is not only a woman's problem. I used to, there was this man in my organization, and every time I'm walking, he always have the richest perfume. Or perfume, whatever you call it. Hello. And I used to grab him and say, come let me smell you, man. And I just used to, and just smell it. I mean, you never just leave it right there so it never go nowhere else. Maybe 1 or 2 times it goes somewhere else, but then you have to, you have to control yourself. You understand what I'm saying to you? Things will happen, Things will happen. I'm not telling you that things, it is hunky-dory and things won't happen. It's not true. Because we are social beings and things are going to happen. But we have to love and we have to care.
Just identify. Yeah. Sure.
I'm just going back to the issue. When someone was talking about the supervisor, saying that what is the supervisor? But there's a case where a staff had been. I spoke to the staff. She worked with 2 managers that I worked with before. And she had an issue with the female manager. The male manager didn't have an issue with, but the male manager had an issue with her. But I am wondering if it's it that sometimes people use other people as an excuse for having those kind of issues and saying that if the manager can't work with the manager, they feel like they're going crazy and stuff like that. I think sometimes people should be blame on others. Because I have worked with those 2 managers and I never had an issue. But then you have personality clash. Yes. So sometimes people tend to shift the blame. Yeah, we don't look within ourselves to see where we are falling from.
But just to interject what you just said, I'm just saying that not because you don't have an issue with
aspect, that doesn't mean that the other person didn't have an issue, because you don't know what sort of communication the supervisor and the person was having. Yeah, understand? And I'm saying that you must can be in an organization. I'm just using the name Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter spoke to me yesterday, and I thought that he overstepped his boundary. And I probably wait until things cool off, then I go and say, Mr. Carter, you say, I don't like when you speak to me, and we can work it out. But it is a situation where I can't even say to Mr. Carter, you spoke to me harshly, and I don't like it. That is where I'm coming and listening.
Oh, we are,
Well, I guess because I was waiting until she spoke, I'm having a deja vu. We had a meeting this morning, and I had a slide. Nobody saw the slide but myself, but on the balancing thing of the slide, I had the word relationship. And around it, I had trust, I had equality and fairness, I had information, I had something else if I can find it. And so we spoke about the very thing that you raised this morning. The question was my challenge as head of HR. I get the complaint and I say to the staff, what do I do with this information? And Mr. Carter and Miss Graham can bear my witness. I'm speaking the words verbatim. What do I do with this information that you are giving to me? They said, don't say anything. It may be. You get what I'm saying? But as HR, it is difficult for me to go and speak to your manager about something that you have confided in me about without your permission. So you have not given me room to work in. I said in that meeting, and I'm just sharing again, where, for example, even in the case of a rotation happens and I keep getting the complaint, and let us use Mr. Carter since he's in here. Now I will have to speak to Mrs. Graham and say, listen, I keep getting complaints without referring what the complaints are so that he could pick up that is Margie complaint to me about how Mr. Carter manages. And I'm asking you because Mr. Carter could be all the way out in St. Anne. My office is in Kingston, so the direct supervisor now, because I have to route it through. And Dr. Barnett spoke about having empirical data. I am not, HR is not at the location, so we get the complaints. If we are getting it with people, we have to root calls and root says, don't say anything. I have to watch and listen again. You get what I'm saying? For somebody else to say something or whatever it is that I can pick up on to use, because I can't just go based on what Ruth said. Not to say that Ruth is a liar, but I want to make sure that I act responsibly as the HR professional in the situation. So there's a lot of things at play with some. You may come and say to me, when some so on and so forth is happening, I have to ask you some questions. And I have to give the thing time. If you get what I'm saying, because I don't want to act too easy. Maybe you are having a bad day, maybe you conceived what was said in a way that it was not intended. You get what I'm saying? But I get where you're coming from. It is as if it seems as if the managers or supervisors may have the upper hand. It is the way we gather the information and treat it at the given time that makes the difference. So we look for certain things and we speak to the person above that person to say, listen, watch Mr. Carter for me, for argument's sake. I need to know what is happening out there, because time after time we've been getting complaints about that location. But it is a process. Just in the same way you come to us in one conversation, we may detect that something is off with you, but we don't label it at the same time because another interaction may be necessary for us to come to that conclusion.
Right, so back to that.
I was just making a suggestion. We're just thinking about ways we could get the men to open up. I'm not sure how we would make contact with HR if it is that we would call the regular 948 number, or if there's a hotline. But a suggestion could be a WhatsApp. Somebody could know that they don't necessarily have to come to HR or go through that long line that might not go through, but they can just send a WhatsApp message that could be read and a response could be taken. The person might not be able to get to you in time, they might be at the airport or wherever, but they can send a WhatsApp and
Alright, so the that, the quick response is, if you're using the black phones, it's 2047. That's the number you call, extension 2047. Or if you're using your mobile phones, it's 876 564 0523. That's 564 0523. Or you send an email, SEAN dot DAVIS at JCA.gov.jm. It will be good. Alright, so that's how you can reach. So we're going to take Peter and then go back to Chris, then Ruth.
You know, I must honestly say I like this setting, but there are supervisors and managers that should be here. We need to have more supervisors and managers. They are the team leaders. When we have our problem, you know, the first face we see now is the supervisor. They are the one that meet us. After which they're going to send you around to the manager. And their system is not perfect. Far from perfect. So what I have to do most times, I have to deviate from the supervisor, the manager, and find that gentleman over there. Because I know when I said something to him, it remained. I'm going to put him on the spot. One time, I give him my task. It's like that, I can't listen, so I know.
Remember you're on the world,
Yeah, but I gave him that task, yeah? And I said, I want to take it this week. Yeah? It was a detrimental to Arnie, but he had confided in somebody else to do. More than himself, he confided in that person. And we try and test it. And I said, test it. Test the person, because you said you confide in him. If he finds out, then it's not going to go anywhere. But we want to know if he has that amount of firmness in him to hold the system how we want it to be. Yeah. And he said, go ahead. Oh, unbelievable. So when I went back to him and said, listen, you think felt me? He said, don't tell me that. He was most disappointed. But that to show you how managers at times are people in position operate. Sometimes you want them to help because what I said to Mr. Carter, need a second person to assist with. And there are a set of managers that we need to draw one from, and we choose the best one. And the best one wasn't good enough. And it just shows if Mr. Carter can test a senior person and it tells what else. So the managers need to be trained and in this mental health issue and understand how important confidentiality is.
You've made a solid point, and there are a lot of things happening. So one of the other new initiatives that team leader Kamara has embarked on is something called HR empowerment. And you've seen that coming out a couple weeks ago, where the target in the initial stage is the managers and supervisors. And we started in Montego Bay 2 weeks ago. So we're doing the assessment phase now, and then we move to the intervention phase. So over time, everybody is going to, hopefully, everybody will get on board and begin to love, as Doc suggested, that we really take each other more, I don't want to say personally, but that's what it is.
We have to be more article.
We're more article and realistic, dealing with the human beings that come and not the people in black and white or suits that come to work and collect the revenues and share. Yes, but yeah, thanks for that. Hold one moment, Donna. So we have Chris, then we have Ruth, then Donna. Alright, and then Matt.
Alright, so the question that I have was basically in the same line that Peter was going down, reporting protocol. What if it's a situation where someone talks to you about a situation, you ask a person, is it okay to refer the situation? Now you have to speak to your manager protocol. And the manager said, okay, don't go to HR, I will deal with the situation. But time passed and the situation remained. There is no communication between management and the person. You probably go back and said, what is the status, what is happening, and the same response is given. I will deal with the situation, but it still remains. What do you do in those? Do you overstep the bound and contact HR? What do you do?
It depends on what the situation is. The situation is great, right? So Tamara would have spoken to the protocol that exists now in terms of reporting. But if we're thinking now about mental health, which is the focus here, a mental health issue, then there is no requirement for you to be, the manager doesn't need to know which is why we've set up that space where you just touch base with HR and then you put you on. Right? So that's the approach, as opposed to routing it. Because quite frankly, though they may need to help in terms of safeguarding your own health in that workspace, and we might have to find creative ways now if we get recommendations from our psychologists who wouldn't divulge but would provide us with some guidance of how we can better create a space where when people come back into the environment they can operate, then we are able to now provide whatever support the managers need, because quite frankly we demand a lot from managers and supervisors and directors, forgetting that they too are human beings and they too are grappling with their human necessities, right? So
I'm sorry, did that answer your question? Were you talking about mental health issues?
Mental health issues.
That's what you were talking about.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Okay, good.
Question.
hold on,
Sorry.
hold on.
Sorry. Go ahead.
And then Don. Yeah. Matthew, you, Smith. That's it.
I have kind of similar coming from both sides of the perspective, the psychologist. Being both someone who has experienced some sort of mental unhealth, for example, anxiety. This is some of anxiety, and being actually a therapist and someone is studying psychology, you're like, no, you can do it yourself. Because you know what you're supposed to look for, you know what you're supposed to do, you tell so and so, you know what you're doing. You tell so and so, this one. When you're in it, you can do it yourself. Have to get help from somebody else. No, the fact is, you have people, when you can recognize this yourself, it's one thing. You have persons who refuse to accept that they're mentally unhealthy, or mentally, let's work with mental unhealthy. And remember, you can't really force someone to do it and help. The only way you can actually personally force them is if they are harmed physically to you or somebody else. But when somebody is mentally unhealthy, also the persons around them also experience emotional trauma. And this is from being in that situation as well. They experience emotional trauma. It's not physical trauma, and you're really in the person to overcome, but they refuse to get help. What these means is that because you can't force them because they're going to get trapped, they need to cope with themselves. So they're not physically harming you at the point, or they're not physically harming themselves, but they're emotional, and that trauma is not something that's easy to get rid of. It's worse than physical trauma because it stays with you. What do you do?
Okay, so we need to recognize that all this thing about mental wellness ties back. If you ask yourself the question, why under God's creation do I care about somebody's mental space? And it ties back to the productivity in the workplace. And I agree with you that you can't force anybody. Persons have to be willing to need help. They have to want the help. And they have to say, I need help. two things that jumped out at what you have said. The first is that those persons who are being trained, and if I use you as an example, if you don't mind, that in the psychological sphere, we talk about personal therapy, because there are a lot of us who do what we just take our own experiences and thing and put it on other person and say that that and that. So you have to go through the personal therapy and make sure that you yourself are mentally well. That's number one. Number two, if you get to someone in the workplace who is unwilling to go for help, okay, but let me use the workplace, who is unwilling to go for help. The first thing that you have to do is to tie it back to the productivity, because that is what you have to use. So if somebody is supposed to get 30 as your score, and you're getting 5, then you have to say to the person, if you don't move from 5, and we're not going to say to 30, because we have to take it in stages, you need to move to 10 by X time, because everything is time bound. Can be to 10. If you don't move to 10 in the next 6 months, then this is what is going to happen. There are consequences to this. And they must determine, because they have to agree and you have to write it down. No, if you're not a supervisor? Okay. All right, no problem. So you're talking to me, and every day I come to you and I'm crying. And I'm not well. And I'm not eating. You have to ask me the question, what do you want for yourself? What do you want for yourself? And if I say I want X, you're going to ask me again, how do you think you can get there? And notice what you're doing. You're putting everything back to me. And okay, so you need to do 1, 2, 3. I can do 1, but I can't do 2 and I can't do 3. I'm going to need help with 2 and 3. So if you need help, what are you going to do? You're going to seek the help. When you come into the therapist room, the first thing they ask you, what is it you want to deal with? No, sir. Yeah, man. And guess what? If you say you want this and you say do that, and you don't do it, they say, all right, when you're ready to do that, then you come back. Because otherwise you'll be wasting your time. Well, I don't want to prescribe anything or say anything, because everything is contextual. All right? So we can have a conversation outside. You know. Matthew. Yes. Matthew.
Good afternoon, everyone. I sat here and I have been listening, and I grew up in the state. A lot of the stuff I've been listening. However, what we need to understand and recognize is that we spend, and this is an appreciate, we spend most of our waking hours, of daylight hours, together at work. By the time I drive and reach home, it's dark. So exactly. So guess what? The persons who I work with, who are going to be the first to know if a relative of mine dropped down, because when the call come in, I'm going to talk, and you're going to be there to console me. And if there's an achievement when the call comes in, because by the time I reach home, it's that there's nobody to talk with. And on that fact, we need to
look out for each other, be caring, show more love to each other. Mental health is not just about having issues at home and even just having a child and returning to work, but you hear about postnatal depression, that can cause mental health. Having an ill relative to deal with, the death of a colleague, or the death in a family, and you have to come back to work. You know, all of those things. The children misbehaving. You're at work, and there's always someone you're going to find to share with. So we need to be very careful and be very prayerful about how we deal with each other and show love. And as if there's a situation that you can't manage, I'll have to get permission from the person to refer further that they can get the adequate help that they need. Yes, I do agree that all of us, like alcoholic, we don't admit that we're an alcoholic, and if we don't admit, we can't get help. But we have to be careful and be very sensitive. It is real, and some of these things, you don't go to shop, burn up. You know, people say some things you don't go to shop and die. It happens.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Alright, let's start the discussion about young males speaking in general. Speaking as a young male, it is that's like you said earlier, from a young males aren't encouraged to show emotion really. They see it as weak or so they look down on you when you share feelings. So young males, who do they share with? They try to share with a friend, but it kind of burdensome to them. Or they don't know how to help you exactly. You go to your parents, they probably ask you what you have to be sad about, or something along those lines. So you end up, what happened to males is that they end up feeling lonely, like nobody understands their problem. So that makes the situation worse. So I would suggest it's probably a forum where you can disclose your problems anonymously. The doctors can confirm, but you really need to put a face to who you're talking to help them. Most times people just want somebody to listen. So that's my 2 cents.
No, the 2 cents.
Specialist on the problem.
So actually, I have explained before where I had a patient from two occasions, from seeing. First occasion for the actor, what's the problem and so on. But second occasion, I'm not seeing it. Although it's the occasion, or you speak to the person because the issue, and the person will resolve the issues. Well, I'm not face dialogue. And that's part of the way launched the new mental health helpline. 88 new life.
888 or double 8?
888. New life. It has been launched. It is up and coming. And the idea behind it is not just to provide a line you can call and refer to the crisis response, but also it's been manned by psychologists. The reason being that when persons call, they can actually have someone that can actually initiate conversation and counseling. Sometimes that's what persons need to get over their anxious moments, their hopeless moments, and so on. And I'll let you know that what we found in our government system, that over 80% of persons who come to our public clinics have what we call psychotic condition, in which they have lost personal reality and they become what we call schizophrenia. They're not schizophrenia almost, right? Person talking to themselves, hearing voices, and believe things turn out to be, and so on. So they are really not into the reality. We have many more persons, and about 1% of our society, up 10 or more percent of our society who have mental illness have more anxiety and depression. Because it is not so obvious. Persons we have those going around with and trying to struggle through life with a pleasant face, but they really inside they're really dying. So hopefully through this means persons who are not being treated, who can't afford to go to a private counselor, a private psychiatrist, will get access to counseling at all hours of the day to help them to deal with some of the issues. And hopefully by doing issues early, they will not getting worse, with much more deleterious to their health and to the health of the around.
Is that line 24 hours?
Right, the last 2 comments.
I want to know, people that want to commit suicide, sometimes some people cannot be so anxious that they're having problems. They just get up and
Okay. So there are a few, minority of persons who may be impulsive. And there is a situation. So something happens. Like I heard of a case where this gentleman did a very, God is an offense, but it is very embarrassing in his community. And people know about it. And he just, like, he couldn't live with it, the embarrassment and the guilt. So he committed suicide. So sometimes person impulsively do it in a particular circumstance and situation can't. They feel it's hopeless, they know they can leave this down, so they do. But most other persons will have some depressive symptoms, anxiety symptoms, but you may not necessarily see it. In that case, I've heard of a person who attempted to actually commit suicide, they didn't commit suicide, and then say, who is he coming? But he was expressing it on social media. Because he really see that he really express it outward. So a lot of times, signs are there, and then they are subtle, and most of the person who are close to them can pick it up. But in most instances, persons have some mental anguish that they are facing, with a point of hopelessness, helplessness, and feel that this is the only way out. And the next point we mention, I'll ask you, do you think this is somebody who went through a lot of problems and issues and saying, boy, they feel like they're giving up and so on? Do you think it's reasonable for you to ask them, do you feel like hurting yourself, do you feel like killing yourself? Do you know that's a good idea to ask them that? You say, show of hands and say yes.
Yeah, script about this.
Okay, so most persons you shouldn't ask. Why do you think you shouldn't ask? And that is not a tendency to be behind us. But the real fact that most persons who are feeling that way is not that they can't tell you because it's a boy you might not understand. But if you ask them, this person seems to understand what I'm going through, and the more willing to tell you, yes, I feel like hurt myself. But if they don't feel like hurt themselves, they say, no, I don't feel like hurt myself. So it's always wise if you see a person really at a point where they really can't bother work anymore, can't bother with doing things before, and they just lose interest in life, and distance from life and persons, so they're withdrawn, then it's okay to ask. That maybe you were helping that person choose to live instead of
Yeah, that's one last comment. Previous discussions. One of the other challenges that I've been experiencing, or I have experienced, is that persons are struggling with mental illness, mental health challenges. We have started the process of referral. We're dealing with it privately, but they're in the regular space with the staff. The staff does not understand. They're coming in late, they're listening from their desk. You understand, so you're trying to deal with them, but the staff is patient, but you can't tell the staff what is happening. So they come and they complain to you, but you already can't say, well, this person is struggling, so and so, and where are you? So it creates a dilemma. Whether you're pulling them out of the environment and giving them a private treatment. Treating them well on the job, but they are just not functional or functioning effectively. And that creates a challenge. How do we do that?
Before you respond, I'll just expand on that, because that was our final question, is how do we help HR, the managers and supervisors in the local spaces, and the employees to assist in the reorientation of persons who have had to be withdrawn from the workspace, either institutionalized or otherwise, as well as those who are undergoing treatment or mental health care. How do we foster that space, that workspace that makes it healthy for persons affected directly, and those of us who don't realize that we are affected by the fact that we work with these persons? How do we realize that?
Great. It all depends. The person, if the other person making a lot of work, then it may be easier because
everybody understands. Yeah.
But in the case if the person became ill, but no longer at home or in a workspace, so people don't understand. The one thing you want to do is make the person come back to work when he or she is able to function. Don't bring them back prematurely. Because if they prematurely and they are pulling a weight, they think about favoritism, coming anytime and go to all the work and go home and so on, then it causes a bit of disorder.
One of the cases there was a postnatal depression. Case of postnatal depression. So the person who get the medication, they would sleep late, come in, but then the supervisor started to roll out late letters. So they are not absent from work. They were not out from work, but they are going there with a thing and they're dealing with private and they don't want nobody to know their business. But you have to be dealing with them, still assigning a task at the time.
It's two things.
Yeah.
Learn a lot, the man, but you don't want them to come back prematurely, one. But two, as a rule, you can assign them duties which they can manage. So for example, very much of the police force will the supervise them so-called lighter duties. Means that when go on the road, for example, when you're in the office and do office duty work, it may be less stressful, less interaction with the public, and less conflict and so on. And then just when you have a stability for your public, when you go on the regular police duties. So you also can do a stage thing, but you don't want to then bring them back in their full work role, and they can't manage. They will show up until they have to not only work, but affect them too.
It would be hard pressed for a manager not to disclose to a supervisor that Margaret is having some challenge. We don't want to say what the challenge is, right? And these are the expectations, and etc., etc. So it would be hard pressed to just allow Margaret to come back and the supervisor is there not knowing anything. So there has to be some communication. There has to be some communication with the environment in which a person is going to operate without disclosing enough, because we can talk, we don't have to give the bill and the receipt. You understand? And so communication is critical. Okay? Communication is critical. And we just have to create a culture. And culture is how things happen around here. We can always say that, we are a well organization and we take care of mental blah, blah, blah. But it's how we do it, how we communicate. Because even how we interact with each other constitutes some mental challenges for some persons. Are you with me? So this thing about workplace wellness is going to take a lot more than just a conversation or just training. It's kind of like you're turning the organization, especially in Jamaica, on top of its head. And it's going to take some time. The culture of the organization, and guess what? That culture has to start from up top.
You understand? What is happening here is a subculture because we can always talk about the argument and whatever, but we have to get it from up top. And I understand that your commissioner had other duties, and I understand that, and that is important. But at least we got it that she has signed on to this. You understand? And there are some persons, I had to deal with a challenge somewhere else, another organization, and when the boss was talking, she said, them have a problem, and them, and them, and them. And while she was talking to me, I said, wow. No, I didn't do any of that because in my space, I don't do that. And when I went there and I'm listening to the workers, I had about 10 pages of what they thought. Are you with me? So the culture of the organization and the leadership that forms the culture and dictates the culture. How we interact with each other. Guess what? When somebody down in Spanish Town or wherever hold up the placard and say we want justice, it's just because we wear jacket and tie and all of them something. Why we don't hold up the placard and say we want justice too? Because there's a thing that is called organizational justice. Just how we interact, how we listen to each other. So Peter can have a whole thing from say all the and when every time when we talking, somebody have to intersperse and finish my conversation because them understand it. That is injustice. And that creates problems in the organization and it creates stress in the organization. Are you with me? Yes. You talk about how we recognize, because we are in the prevention, We are in the prevention. There are some things that we can't touch. Because some mental illness is from the family history, hereditary. But there are some things, the organization, we mustn't create any environment for people to get unwell inside here. Don't give them basket to carry water. Be ethical in your leadership. Don't wait until something down the road and you say, I just wait for she to come. She will get some and sign the paper there. Huh? No, I'm serious enough. Or somebody come and touch me and say, and if me shake myself then say, where you going? That sort of thing. Come on. It's love. It is a care. And we must know ourselves. We must love ourselves. And those of us who are sitting in here who are managers and supervisors and you are leading people and people are looking up to you and guess what? You jolly well know so when you not turn people in an idiot. And you jolly well know when you're not stressing them out. You know. We must stop it. And we must be true to ourselves. We must be true to ourselves. And we must make sure that when persons come in here, that they are happy. It is important. Too much time I come to church and hear people talking about pray. Pray for the supervisor and pray for this and pray for that. And pray for this and pray for that and pray. Yes, prayer has its place. And prayer changes things.
Fast.
But we are fasting. No, we're not going into no conversation with you. I just want to say it, and I guess this is the last I'm going to be talking. I just want to say it. It is incumbent on each one of us who is sitting here to make sure that we create a well space. Yes, man. How you talk to each other, how you relate to each other. Some of us are exclude some people, Exclude them don't belong. And some of us are workplace bullies. Yes. Come on. And when we have these things, what we're doing is that we are educating you. Because when we are self-aware, and we are aware of our environment, then we're better able to manage our relationships
And managing is about managing your relationships. And your relationship is multiple. The boss, the lady down the bottom, the co-worker, the person who called in on the phone, multiple relationships. And you have to manage that. And if you are not mentally well, you're going to create pure chaos in the organization. I'm imploring you. And I'm begging you. And I'm beseeching you. Therefore, virgin. Let us get mad. Let us make a difference.
Yes.
Let's get mad. Get mad. Thank you so much, Doc. Yes,
John, please. I just want to say something here. Peter, no thanks, no blessings. Men are strong, but we also hurt people. For the next forum, I would like to. No. For the next forum, I would like the panelists, whoever is here, to talk more on the connectivity of mental health, empowerment, and mindset.
Our health, our wealth, body, mind, and soul. Yeah? And so we will take on your suggestion, and others who have such suggestions, we definitely welcome those. I'm going to hop back to Peter, then if he had any final challenge to his colleagues, and then we can back to go there. So you're saying the doctor laugh, but she sorry.
All I want to say in closing is that we need to have a discussion with managers and supervisors. That's all I want to say.
Amen.
I want to say that it has been shown that when you provide support for the next person, it helps the next person, it also makes you stress resistant, makes you feel happier. And the good book says, don't feel very well doing. Remember your speech and your action. It is edifying, it is helpful. Myself is about what is in it from me. What about the other person? As Douglas emotion intelligence, the other person's feelings. What about all in the bottom? What about the person? What about the other person? Before you see what he's saying and what he is. Because the social environment makes a difference. You have a lot of work to do here now. If the environment is nice, you do it with a joy. If the environment is not nice, don't come to wrong. As people are ungrateful, people are ungrateful, the manager ungrateful, the co-workers, the chair and so on, you'll leave. If it's a nice environment, you're surprised to know how much you will do. So work on being supportive of each other. Remember, no backbite now.
Thank you so much. Alright, so we have had a rich discussion. Could we hear for our panelists again? And if Commissioner was here, she would have shared words to the effect that while we stay true to our motto, country above self, this space creates some irony, and it is important that we embrace as individuals the self element of that motto to ensure that the self is healthy so that we can treat with the issues of our country as we seek to facilitate trade and protect our borders and collect the revenue. We are cognizant of the taboo nature of mental health in our culture. And in our quest to change the perception, this forum has been established, and we will be, I think this is an indication that we have to preserve it and extend it. So we will definitely take that on board. And then finally, the agency continues to do all in its capabilities to talk about and deal with issues of mental health and every other element of the staff's well-being. So the employee assistance program, we want you to be the advocates for that. When we ask directors and managers to make recommendations for persons, that was a part of it, that we're going to be kind of creating that, beginning that group of persons who will be advocates for safeguarding mental health in the workspace. And we know that the physical element is important, so when we're done here, you can change your clothes and join us in the car park for the physical fitness session, right? Aerobic session. Yes, customs move.
So when customs move, mental health will improve.
Absolutely. So there is Jamaica Moves, Doc, and we have customs moves here. The last paragraph says there is no health, no good health without mental health. So together let us safeguard our mental health in order that we can play our part in making Jamaica a place of choice to live, work, raise families, do business, and retire in paradise in a healthy manner. Right? So safeguard your mental health, colleagues, and remember that mental health matters. Thank you all so very much. And I want to thank the team behind this. So Adam stepped up for a bit. Tamara is here. And Nikita is here. I think Jenny also stepped out, but that's the group of persons. There are two others who are holding the fort inside, Shamil and Marshall and Siku. Yes, so those are the persons who have been seeking to drive it. And any suggestions you have, we welcome them, share them with us, we'll take them on board and see how better we can serve it. We serve the public, we serve it. So, every blessing.
Okay, I don't know for anyone, but for me, I'm seeing new HR. I'm really seeing where HR is really doing something different here. Now they put out all the information out there and people say, I don't know what HR is doing.
I'm going to lay hands now. I'll let you lay hands, it's in my nature. Yes, ma'am. Marshall, you heard the thanks, right? Let me make it louder. We thank you. No, gratefulness, that's yours too. And gratitude is and we don't always give each other that. Yes, so we really want to. So, lay hands on this one. Yes. Could you give this one to our co-worker? First. Let's hear it for Peter. Hold on, the camera lane. So hold it.
Turn on the bag.
Turn on the logo.
One more. Okay.
Come on now, Winnie.
And Courtney.
smelling cologne.
It's a secret.
Can you keep a secret? And Dr. Manton. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much for coming and stay tuned for the rest of the activities for the month. Remember, we're moving from port to port, so
We're in
check the
Kingston
mail.
this week.
Yes.
We're on the wharves tomorrow for your health checkups, and then we go to the airport on Wednesday. On Wednesday.
Thank you very much for the tea, guys. Yes.